Hey, Luke here at the Outdoor Boys YouTube channel, and this is my forging setup. And I've done a lot of projects and videos with this forge. I built an African spear, a Japanese pocket knife, a couple axes. So I get a lot of questions from people who are interested in having something similar. So if you want a really cheap forge setup, this is the video for you. I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. So this is an old video I posted on my other YouTube channel, the Catfish and Carp YouTube channel. So I re-edited it and just cleaned it up a little bit, added a little bit of extra footage, and here you go. Here's how to build a forge on a budget. Alright, so let me give you kind of a rundown of what I'm going to be building. Let me show you the design. Now this furnace is a wood burning furnace. It runs off of charcoal or wood scraps. You can also use coal if you want. And it's powered by a shop vac. So the shop vac is blowing air into the furnace. You can also use a hair dryer. You could use a hand blower, specialty blacksmithing blowers. But this is what I had around the house, and it works really good. Let me give you a little example here. Now I'm using lumber scraps and wood, but if you use coal, I hear that it gets even hotter and it works a little bit better. You don't have to stoke it as often, and it burns a little bit hotter. So if you can source coal and use that instead, that's a great option. The great thing about these wood burning forges is you can use just about anything to make them. I use sheet steel here, but you know, I could have used this helium canister, cut it in two and use it. You can use a barbecue shell. You could use a metal trash can probably. I mean, just about anything will work if you insulate it well enough. The thing is that sand is a fabulous insulator, and so as long as you have a good layer of sand on top of the steel and the fire's high up, you shouldn't have any problem. There is almost zero heat being transferred down. So as long as the fire rides high up on the furnace, the metal doesn't get heated up. This is cold, okay? Everything but the very rim of the metal is cold to the touch. And then you basically have some sort of base to put it on. And I've got a frame made out of 2x4s. And I've got a little work area here with a vise. Okay, so the first step in my forge project is I'm going to put holes in this pipe. Now this is a 2-inch heavy gauge black steel pipe. There you go, 6 holes. Well, I may be the worst welder ever, and this may be the worst welding machine ever, but we actually did it. I think this will actually hold up. Oh, it's so ugly. I don't even want to show you a close-up. Watch out, Nathan.
Let's go.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what, that test run worked pretty good. It fired right up and we got a lot of air going through there, even with the sand covering up the vents. It's cold down here where the sand is. Any part that's covered with sand is good. Now, it's a little lopsided, so this part is exposed. There was no sand, and I can see where it's warped and bent a little bit. I don't think it's caused any permanent damage to it, but I think what I need to do is once it cools down, I need to level it out and make sure that the metal's not exposed, that all the metal's covered with sand. And I think we're ready to go. Now I just need to mount my anvil, and we'll go from there. I think this might do the trick. Oh. Well, it's a bit low and it's uneven on one end.
Whoa.
So I'd have to trim it like right about there. I don't know if I made it better or worse. Good enough. Half a bubble off plumb. Okay, for fuel I'm using charcoal, and I've got charcoal that's just left over from my fireplace and from foraging the night before. And you can buy or make charcoal. Comes in these chunks, but you want it big chunky stuff. You want hardwood charcoal, or you can get pieces of wood. So just you want chunks, little chunks like this, you know, scraps from this and that. These little 2x4 chunks work really well. I like these best, just about this length. Yeah, I used up a little more than half the charcoal and half the pile. Quite a bit of fuel. Of course, I'm not very good at this, and so, you know, if I had to do it over again, I think I could have done it much quicker and used much less fuel, but, you know.
It's been over a year since I made this forge. I've been using it quite heavily, and let me show you how well it's held up and kind of some of the pros and cons. First off, the big thing is I'm using a wooden base, and you can see here there's some burn marks where occasionally hot coals will fall off the side and get in these cracks and burn. And you can see here and maybe down here a few places that it's burned the wood. This side, not so bad, because usually I'm working on this side and I can see it happen and I can just brush the coal off. So what I've done to keep that from happening is when I build a fire, I take one log and just put it right there, and I take another log, put it right there, and I put my coals, my fire in between, and that keeps coals from spilling over. A bigger problem with this design is that it wiggles a lot. You can see here there's quite a bit of play, and so when you've got something in the vise and you're sawing on it or whatever, this thing shakes and shimmies quite a bit, and the more it shimmies, the looser it gets. So occasionally I have to go through and put nails back in, and since I did this video, I added these cross pieces here and here and over on this side and down there to try to give it a little bit more rigidity, and I really need to add some more. So if you're doing this design at home and you want this thing to hold up well for many years, use exterior deck screws and add more cross pieces. Another thing I have done differently is, in the video you saw me use sand and gravel to make the forge. Wouldn't do that, just gravel. Don't even monkey with the sand. Now let me show you the anvil. The anvil here is held up pretty well for a $65 anvil. It's surprisingly soft steel, and so there's little dents in it, and from where you miss, a good chunk of these dents are from where I let the Boy Scouts come and work on my anvil, and a lot of them just missed so much that they just swing as hard as they could without much accuracy, and so a lot of these dents are from Boy Scouts. But all in all, for being a really cheap setup that I did myself without a lot of prior experience, it's held up really well to a lot of use. I've used this thing a bunch, and I'm pretty proud of it. So it's a design that definitely can be improved upon, and if you have better materials and better tools and better skills, go for it. But this will work. If you're looking to just get into the hobby, this will do it. Thanks for watching. We hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you'd like to see more great videos from the Outdoor Boys YouTube channel, don't forget to click subscribe. We put out new videos every week, and don't forget to hit that bell button so you'll get notified when we put out another great video.